So Duke the Destroyer has actually caused a lot of problems for me this year. This fence line right behind me here is another example of that. This is a cross fence we put in just last year to help with a pasture management project that we did with help of our local conservation district. Really appreciate your guys' help, by the way. Thank you. We put it in because this field needed to be cut off while we replant it and keep the animals off of it for a year. This is the year that they'll be able to go back on. But D2, the Destroyer, has also figured out, because of his lessons learned over winter, that he can go over the top of that fence. And I never put a hot wire on that section. So I need to take the hot wire that I have going right here in front of the garden and run it all the way down and get everything all squared up there so he stays away from that. Though he apparently doesn't care about, he certainly doesn't care about stainless steel high tension fence. That's just a waste of time for him. It's kind of like an annoyance. The field fence is a little bit more of a trick, but he's figured out how to get through it. I watched him go through 4 strands of barbed wire the other day like it was nothing, and the hot wire doesn't seem to bug him either. And that's a hot wire, so I don't really know what the big deal is. Speaking of big deal, here's one of our summer projects. That's Daisy, and she is pregnant. So maybe we'll have Daisy 2 or we'll have D3 this summer, but you all will be able to see that. Unlike, what was it they have? Unlike the giraffe that everyone's been live streaming, I'm not going to set up a live stream. We have a metered internet connection. I'm not going to do a live stream to see her give birth, but when she does, you guys are all going to see it. I will get video and put it up for you. So we're excited for Daisy's third calf this year. It should be fun. One of the things that Mrs. Martian is going to be doing is turning our garden here, because of the aquaponic system. Originally had a big plan for this, lots of garden. I think I'm still going to try to convince her to do corn out here and some grapes. That's what the trellis is for over there. She wants to put in chickens, so we got our coop there, and then actually put some flowers in, and have to create a chicken run for them, of course, but want to do some really beautiful flowers in here so she has her own flower garden. Mrs. Martian is awesome, so if there's a way I can try to help out with that, I would like to, because she deserves it. Here's another problem we got. So here's the high tension fence, and it's supposed to have 4 lines right there. There's electric line hanging right there. Electric, 1, 2. That's 3. There's 4. This stuff breaks a lot. And the way it breaks is through heat cycling. So what happens is it gets really, really hot, and then it gets cold. And when you have that happen, even though it's really small metal, it does this action and eventually breaks. Or it breaks, it comes loose of the grips, the crimps that have it. Or it does all this, and then you have a cow that comes up and decides they just want to put their nose on it, and it goes pop. And breaks right off. So I got a lot of fence. I got to walk the entire fence line. That's 20 acres worth of fence to walk. I don't know how many miles that is. That's a few miles. And go through and take my crimps out and just walk around for the day and actually fix all the fence. I've also got to fix all the electric fence and make sure everything is all put together there. So a lot of fence walking to do. Here's another one of our projects. For the we're going on 6 years here. And every year we've been using just pallets and some T-posts as our wood storage, and we just put plastic over the top of it. And you know, honestly, it's been good enough, but with the snow that we're starting to get, again, it's kind of going back to normal here. It's turning into a real pain. The weather comes this direction, hits it solid, and we get a ton of snow on this, and it's really a backbreaker to deal with. You can do it. It's really a first world problem as well, but we'd like to make this better. So the idea is to actually scrap this entire area as our wood storage, and actually pull up these posts right here and move everything back to the garden area right here, the line, and level that area and put a nice size shed out there. A nice size shed for the wood as well as lawnmower and some other stuff, a little more storage area. So it's a lot of work to do, but maybe we can get to it. Here we are a little bit closer to the area where I'm thinking of doing the wood shed. Kind of want to step down so you can kind of see some of the slope. There's a slope right there. It's actually coming down fairly steep. look at the garden right there. You can see the garden has been leveled, so this area is going to have to be pulled down this way. Box scraper would be a great thing for that. But it's going to have to be sunk down in just like the garden is. I don't know how that's going to do for drainage. But what I'm thinking is ripping up these posts here, moving them back this way, right up, so they come straight over from the garden. Run it from the garden over here, and then connect in the normal fence line. That's the thought. And then I can put the woodshed up in here. Could actually bring the woodshed right up into this area and have it be, not have to do as much leveling. If I move that all out of the way, I will have to do some leveling, but not much. And have the woodshed right here. The main weather comes from that direction. You do get some weather this way, but just going to have to deal with it. So if I do a shed up like this and then come back down in the front, that should help. That's the woodshed idea. Pour a slab and then have 1, 2, 3 bays probably. 2 of them about 7.5 feet, 15 feet total, and then 1 5-foot long, go about 6 feet back. And that'll put us at 120 square feet, which means we don't have to get a permit. And that's a pretty big woodshed. And then go up high with it to get enough wood in for the year. That's the vision. Lots of work. I'm out at the pool deck right now, and we have one of the posts came off. We're gonna have to redo the post and actually put through a metal peg all the way through because the screws that I'm using just ain't working, ain't cutting the job there, so we're going to have to fix that. In addition, we have quite a bit of erosion, which I've tried to keep back with the rocks here at the end, and then the chicken wire here underneath. But you can see that all that dirt has actually still pushed its way out, and now we actually have quite a bit of light coming through, so this needs to be reinforced out here. Which is going to be fun. This house was built in 1999, and one thing that needs to be done to it is it really needs a good paint job. It's actually a really nice moment here, so let me show you this. Sunset. This is God's creation. That is beautiful. And listen. Pretty nice, huh? So many of you have been asking me questions, you know, when are you going to get to this thing, when are you going to get to that thing? The digester is probably the most popular one. We've got lots of work to do on microgreens this year to get those fully up and running. That helps fund our research and everything we're trying to do here, the engineering, the design work. So we've got to get that going. We've got to get the digester going. We've got to get lanes 1, lane 4 put in. We've got to figure out the insulation. We've got to figure out the heating, get the digester loading problem solved. Lots of things to do there. We've got lots of fence to fix. We've got a woodshed to build. We've got a house to paint. There's a lot here that we got to get done, as well as all the stuff out of the barn that needs to be fixed out there. One thing I didn't show you, because I'm absolutely embarrassed to even show it, is my shop. I need a lot more organization, a lot more shelving, a lot more storage, buckets, bins, built-in stuff, drawers, and I don't have it, so I got stuff everywhere. It's just a mess, and it's really a pain. I would love to, this upcoming winter, probably when the snow starts, to actually take my little work area out there and actually put walls up and take the wood stove I'm taking out of the building and actually put it up into the barn so I can have a nice workshop to be in throughout the winter. But I'll be honest, right now I don't know how I'm going to get to all of this stuff. I really don't. In addition to all these things that we have to do, I also have to go get hay and I have to get wood for the winter. So going to be a very busy summer, and right now in my head I have until November 11th to get all these projects done and completed, because that's when the snow starts. Rain starts before that, but November 11th is when the snow comes. And if it's anything like this last year that we just got done going through that you saw, I really have to have this all done. Whew. That's a lot. So, hey, how'd they build Rome? One brick at a time. We just need to lay them down and take them one step at a time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give us a thumbs up. And if you got ideas and stuff about how we can do these things better, I'm always open to those ideas and suggestions. If you want to subscribe, please do so. But I understand, in addition to subscribing, it's helpful if you go to Facebook or Twitter and follow us. You'll get notified when we put up new videos. In the meantime, everyone, this is The Real Martian. Hope you all have a great evening. Out.